Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another foundation routine video for you all. And if you have been watching these videos, or if you have been wondering why I keep on posting a lot of these videos, it's because I'm doing a little mini series on my foundation routines with all of the foundations that I love from my foundation collection. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how I apply the Revlon ColorStay foundation. I show you guys my little tips and tricks with this foundation, and I also show you guys some techniques that I like to use when I want my foundation to last until I take it off at the end of the day. So I hope that you all do enjoy this tutorial, and if you are enjoying this series, please let me know. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing that I do whenever I want my foundation to be really long wearing, I use one of two foundation primers, and I use either the Maybelline Baby Skin or I use the Benefit Professional. For this tutorial, I am going to show you all the Maybelline Baby Skin just because I do like this one with the Revlon ColorStay. I think just slightly more than the Professional. I don't know. It's a really close tie, but I'm just going to use this one today. I haven't used this one in a while. I mean, I pretty much focus this everywhere on my face. Mostly, though, on this area of my face here, because I feel like that's where my pores are the largest. This primer does really help to minimize pores. It's not going to help get rid of them, but it does help minimize. And I do find that this primer helps this Revlon ColorStay foundation go on a lot smoother, like a lot easier. And it also helps it last a lot longer. Then I go ahead and I apply my under eye concealer. And today I'm going to use my NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. I find out of all of my concealers that I own, this is the most full coverage. So I'm just going to apply this NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer underneath my under eyes. And this is in the color Vanilla, if you were wondering. And then I'm just going to blend this NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer out with the Sigma Tapered F86 brush. This is one of my favorite brushes to use for under eye concealer. Like I showed you guys in the intro, today I'm going to show you all how I apply my Revlon ColorStay foundation. And the color that I use is 150 Buff. So I'm going to use the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush today with this foundation. And this is my favorite brush to use with this foundation. This is my favorite way to apply it. I've just found that whenever you dampen the brush, like all I do is I run it under some water and then squeeze out the excess water like on a towel. It will help the foundation to blend a lot more evenly, and you won't have to work as quickly with this foundation. This foundation sets up really fast, and once it sets up, it's hard to blend it out without looking cakey. So that is my trick with the Revlon ColorStay, is to use like a dampened brush. So I just kind of put a little bit on the back of my hand there. And if I need more, I can always add more later. Then I just take this F80 brush and I just kind of dip it in the foundation there. Just kind of like move it around. Okay. Then next what I do is I just put the foundation on my face and I just blend it like in circular motions like this. And then I just pat it. So I kind of do a mixture of swirling and patting with it. And this foundation does look a little light when I first put it on, but I have found that this foundation does oxidize just slightly, and it will end up like blending in better with my skin tone at the end. If you don't know what oxidation is or like what oxidize means, it just means that your foundation reacts like with the oxygen and it gets a little darker. And I have found that when you use a dampened brush like this, it is easier to go back and build the foundation up if you need to. So that's another plus about using a dampened brush with the Revlon ColorStay. Like honestly, until I discovered to use a dampened brush with this, I hated Revlon ColorStay. Okay, then once I have the foundation like all blended out, then I go ahead and set everything. And for my under eye concealer, you all know what I use, but I use the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder and just like a large fluffy brush to set my under eye concealer. And this is just going to ensure that it's going to stay put all day, the concealer, and that it's going to not crease. Because I do find with this NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, it is really creamy. So if you do not set it with some type of powder, it will crease. And before I go in to set my foundation, I am going to conceal some blemishes that I have. Like, I have this nice blemish right here in the corner of my mouth, and I have some still along my jawline. So I'm just going to go in with my NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer and conceal these blemishes. And I'm also going to add a little bit more concealer to my nose, just to make sure it's covered really well. I'm just going to go back in with the F86 brush by Sigma and blend out the concealer. And then for my face, to set my foundation and concealer, I like to use the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder in Soft Ivory. This is my Holy Grail face powder. I absolutely love this product. If you haven't tried it, you definitely need to give it a try. It is one of the best like face powders I have purchased at the drugstore. And I've talked about this before. I just pat the powder into my skin. I don't like buff it on or anything, just to not disturb like the concealer or foundation. Okay, then the very last thing that I do to help my foundation last until I take it off at the end of the day, and this stupid like zit that I had right here, like I tried to cover it up, but I feel like you can still really see it. Like, I don't know, it's terrible. Like, you ever get those, and no, it's gonna sound gross, but you ever get like those zits and you go to squeeze them out, they're not ready, but you just keep squeezing because you just hope that you're going to be able to get rid of it? Well, that's what I did to this one, and I made it like so much worse. So don't do that. But yeah, the last thing I do is I go ahead and set this Revlon ColorStay foundation with the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I love this product. It's a holy grail product for me, and it will just give this foundation a little more natural look, and it will also help this foundation last until you take it off. I mean, even if I don't use this makeup setting spray, Revlon ColorStay lasts pretty long anyway, but like if I want to keep this foundation on it until I wash it off at the end of the day, I will spray this on. So yeah, I do really recommend this stuff. So I'm just going to lightly mist that on. And if you find that it makes your foundation a little too dewy, you can always go back with a little bit more of your powder and set the foundation again just lightly, and it will take a little bit of that shine off. Me personally, I kind of like for my foundations to look slightly dewy just because I find that it looks a little more natural on my skin anyway. So I hope that you all did enjoy my foundation routine or my foundation tutorial with the Revlon ColorStay foundation. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are wondering, I do have a tutorial on this eyeshadow that I'm wearing, so I will have that link down in the description bar, so just expand that and I will have the link to the video there. But I hope that you all have an amazing day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye, guys. Mwah.